We took a trip up north again to visit family, taking time to visit a few sites, so let's get started. We were in the wrong part of Missouri to see the full eclipse, but we had a great time looking very silly in dark glasses with family, so it was all good. The dog even got into the spirit of things. On the way to Colorado, we stopped by Alma Creamery in Alma, Kansas, to get some cheese and learn about cheese curds.
Hey, here we are at Alma Creamery where they sell cheese, and here's Jennifer Wenderot.
You got that right.
Wow,
so welcome to Alma Creamery. This is our retail shop. We've been up in this location for about 18 months, but everything is made and produced in Alma, Kansas, which is 3 miles south. Been in the same building since 1946. We make yellow cheddars, white cheddars, Colbys, and Monterey Jacks. So we would love it if you would stop here at the Travel Plaza at I-70 and 99 and check us out.
Cool, and I see you have fresh curds.
We've got fresh curds, usually a couple of days a week. We get fresh curds, so it just depends on when we're able to get our milk in and that they are making production. So today we've got fresh yellow curds. We will have fresh yellow curds again on Thursday this week.
Oh, good. And what exactly are curds?
So curds are like baby cheese. It's when you make cheese, you've got, put your enzymes in, and then you've got your curds and your whey. So drain the whey off, and then the curds is what's left. And so that is what you get. It's got a softer texture, more creamy, because it has more moisture content in it compared to your black cheese that's been kind of squished and all the moisture ran out of those.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for telling us everything about cheese.
Absolutely. So come and see us.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We also drove to Amigo, Kansas to see the Land of Oz. Well, the museum anyway. Want to know anything about that magical land? Just visit Wamego. I had no idea Laurel and Hardy did a Wizard of Oz. The museum had a lot of displays, including lions and scarecrows and tin men. Oh my. And of course, they just had to have a quilt. Toto statues were everywhere, and the museum didn't disappoint. But that wasn't the end of the magic. There was a yellow brick road. There was more magic as we stopped in Wilson, Kansas to see the world's largest hand-painted check egg. The 20-foot-tall egg represents the decorating techniques brought by migrants to Kansas. There was more to see, of course. The 1901 Turner Hall, better known as the Wilson Czech Opera House, was the center of culture and social life in Wilson. It was unfortunately destroyed by a fire in 2009, but the remaining structure is part of an innovative outdoor amphitheater project. There was also a statue of Lady Liberty, dedicated to the immigrants of Wilson, Kansas. If you find yourself in Hays, Kansas, you may want to stop in Thirsty's Brew Pub and Grill. Just saying. There are a few sights you can go see in Kansas if you get off the beaten track a bit. We stopped by the Prairie Museum of Art and History, which houses the Cusca collection of glass, furniture, ceramics, toys, and other antiques. We finally made it to Colorado to visit with family, and we got to see our niece as the lead in the play Heathers. We are just so proud of all of her accomplishments.
We can be beautiful. Ouch! Just not today. Are you okay? Get away, nerd.
On our way out of Colorado, we had to stop in Johnson. They have a Buc-ee's. Our next stop was in Red River, New Mexico, a small mountain town. Snow in the mountains, different sights to see, lots and lots of small shops, although quite a few were closed because it was April. And a great harvest host at Red River Brewing Company. After New Mexico, we finally found ourselves back in Texas. We took time to go see parts of historical Route 66, including the midpoint in Adrian, Texas, and of course, Cadillac Ranch. Spent quite a bit of time there, spray painting the cars, it's a tradition, and leaving our mark. You never know what you're going to find on your travels on these roads of life. Did a quick stop at the Second Amendment Cowboy, where we saw photos of the building of the Cadillac Ranch. Did you know they actually moved the cars in 1997 in order to get them out of the way of the growing Amarillo city limits? The things you learn. We stayed at the Big Texan RV park and had a limo drive us to the Big Texan. We did not partake of the 72-ounce steak challenge. We barely made a dent in the food we actually ordered. Did you know the record for eating that entire meal was made in just 4 minutes and 18 seconds? Molly Schuler was only 125 pounds when she did it. Not sure what she weighed after the fact. There were also exhibits and games in the restaurant, and hey, when in Rome, or Amarillo.
I apologize for that. I need to lay off them baked beans at the
You're about as welcome to the rattlesnake is where
Hey, old buddy, did you hear the one about the horse with the negative attitude?
Am I supposed to feel anticipation?
It always said nay, nay.
Took a side trip to the littlest skyscraper in Wichita Falls, Texas, and actually got to go up it. No elevator, I'm afraid, just stairs. Originally called the McMahon Building, it was completed in 1919, consisting of 4 floors and only able to hold 49 people at a time. Old man and promoter J.D. McMahon drew up plans for the building, but failed to mention he didn't have permission to build on the property or that the space available is only 10 by 16 feet. He also failed to mention the scale of the plans were in inches rather than feet, and no one noticed. So instead of a 480-foot building, it was only 480 inches, or 40 feet. McMahon raised $200 grand from investors and about $3 million in today's dollars. So much for the gullibility of people during the North Texas oil boom days. Our final stop was at Barking Rocks Winery, another Harvest host. Had a wonderful talk with the owner and even bought some Texas wine. Apparently, the original owner's initials were HK, which they had placed in stone on a wall, which the winery owner thought looked like a barking dog, hence the name. It was a beautiful and relaxing place, and we may just come back again.
On the Santa Fe Trail, the path taken by our ancestors in order to settle the West. Today we will provide you with an alternative history. Here we have the trail where our brave pioneers trekked towards the west, where on your left would have been the children collecting the dried buffalo chips for the fire at night. Your right is where the first filing for divorce occurred along the Santa Fe Trail, where our intrepid travelers, Mr. and Mrs. Tudball, were having a conversation. Mrs. Tudball said, "I thought you packed the Long Johns." And Mr. Tudball said, "No, you were supposed to pack the Long Johns." And this was the last straw. And they filed for divorce. And the horse was the witness. Santa Fe Trail, day 357. After finally determining that their guide, Ian Skelly-eyed McPherson, really didn't know how to read a map, the Johnson family said, "Consarn it, we're not going another daggone mile, and we're gonna put our roots down right here, middle of this scrub brush." Amen.